So today we are going to study a topic called ray optics. So in ray optics we are going to study some basic phenomena related to the wave optics. So to begin with, the first concept is scattering of light. So basically what is scattering of light? It's a phenomenon in which there is change in the direction of propagation of a light by particles of the medium is called scattering of light. Now, when we look at the light, our main source is the sun itself. So you know that sun consists of a white light, and that white light, when it is dispersed, then it splits into constituent 7 colors, namely violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So our atmosphere consists of so many particles like atoms, electrons, neutrons, and gases and dust particles. So whenever this light is incident on any particles, some light is being absorbed and some part of the light gets transmitted. That transmitted light is known as the scattered light. You can look clearly into the diagram. I have an incident light coming all the way from the sun, and it is incident on the particles. Those particles may be electrons, protons, neutrons, or any dust particles, or even water vapors which are present in the atmosphere. So they get scattered into a various direction. So next thing we are going to study is Rayleigh's law of scattering. So this law is very important in order to understand the scattering phenomenon. So what it states that intensity of the scattered light is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. That is, you can see clearly that the intensity of the light is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. Whenever I say the word inversely proportional, I mean to tell you is if one quantity is increasing, then another decreases. So from the formula, I is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. That is, if wavelength is less, then the intensity of the scattered light will be higher. And similarly, if wavelength is more, then the intensity of the scattered light will be smaller. So this shows that the larger the wavelength, lesser is the scattering of the light. So when we look again back to our VIBGOR, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, these colors are orderly arranged according to their wavelength as well as frequency. So it starts with a violet as the least wavelength and highest frequency, whereas our red light has highest wavelength. So you might have seen in the traffic lights or most of the cases red light is widely used because it has the larger wavelength, so it can travel a larger distance compared to the other colors. So our red light is least scattered, whereas blue light is scattered the most. Fine. So the next question is, why is the sky blue? So the answer for this is scattering of light. So before that, we need to again study the color composition of the sun. So you can look clearly that I have orderly arranged the colors into a systematic order according to their wavelength. So first comes a red light, which has a wavelength of approximately 7000 angstrom units, that is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Then followed by orange light, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So if you look at the bottom half, violet, indigo and blue, these comes under the least category, least wavelength, whereas the topmost comes under the highest wavelength. So as per Rayleigh's law, red light is going to scatter less, and whereas violet, indigo and blue is going to scatter a lot. Okay, then you can see the visible section of sunlight is made up of all those colors. Okay, so why exactly the sky looks blue? Why it doesn't look violet? That is also important question. As per Rayleigh's law, violet should scatter the most, and the sky should look in violet color or maybe indigo also, but it looks blue. Why? What is the reason? So when sunlight enters the earth's atmosphere, the scattering of different colors takes place. Obviously the scattering is going to take place. Sun will incident a white light, and when this white light is incident on the particles, maybe as I told you, electrons, protons, neutrons, dust particles, water vapors, so scattering is going to take place. And the wavelength of blue color is much smaller than that of the red color, therefore intensity of the blue light is scattered is more than that of the red color. Thus the blue color becomes the major color when the sky is clear. So the answer is quite simple. The reason why the sky is blue is from the Rayleigh's law itself. The intensity of this blue light is more because it has the least wavelength. Then the next question arises. Before that, we are going to see how exactly it works. You can look into the diagram, into the image itself, where we have a sun which constitutes of all the seven colors. But you can see at the end of the day, our earth is receiving the bluish light itself. See here, incident all light white colors, directly sunlight yellow color. Then you can see, due to the scattering, blue light is scattered the most, and because of the atmospheric gases which are responsible for the scattering, and so you witness the blue color of the sky. So the next question is, why we don't see a violet color, why we don't see a indigo color, but why we see a blue color? That's the important question, because as from Rayleigh's law, violet should be seen more compared to the this. Look here, there's two important reasons for this. Violet light gets scattered more than blue, having shorter wavelength, but since our eyes are more sensitive towards blue than violet, we see the sky blue. Students, look carefully here. Our eyes aren't sensitive to the violet light, so that's the one reason we don't see a violet color. And if you look into our solar spectrum, that is, solar spectrum is the characteristics of the sun's radiation. So you can see that the part of the violet light is very very less. Blue light is contributing more to the solar spectrum compared to the violet color. So here are the two important reasons. One reason you can give is, our eyes aren't sensitive towards the violet color. Okay, our eyes are very much sensitive towards the blue color. Our eyes can easily detect a blue color when compared with the violet and indigo. And one more reason you can give is, in a solar spectrum, we have a solar spectrum is an orderly arrangement of the lights in according to their wavelength or frequency. So we in that solar spectrum, the part of the violet color is very much less. Violet light is contributing very less in that solar spectrum. You can say just 1 or 2% out of the 100%, but whereas blue light will compromise of 20 to 30% in that solar spectrum. So this is the one of the reason. So in that the solar spectrum, you can see how they are orderly arranged. These are the electromagnetic waves which we arranged according to their wavelength or frequency. See, we have gamma rays, we have x-rays, we have ultraviolet rays, and then we have a small portion which is visible light which we witness. Okay, then infrared radiation and radio waves. Okay, you should know all the applications of one particular waves. Okay, then the next question is, from Rayleigh's law it is quite clear ki blue light is going to scatter a lot, and hence the sky color is blue. Then the next important question is, why does the sun appear red in color during sunrise and sunset? Almost all of you have witnessed this in the evening time or during sunrise. When the sun rises, you see that the sky looks reddish or orange or little bit of yellowish in color, not bluish. So what is the reason for this? So if you look at this, then it seems like Rayleigh's law is failing here, but there is one important reason for this. So what happens during sunrise and sunset? The rays have to travel a larger part of the atmosphere because they are very close to the horizon. Therefore, light other than red is mostly scattered away. Most of the red light which is least scattered enter our eyes. Hence the sun and the sky appear red. So this is one of the important reason why does the sky looks red during sunrise and sunset, because during daytime the sun is overhead just above the equator, but when during sunrise and sunset, sun will go away from the equator, like not equator, I would say it's a equinox. So the rays has to travel a larger distance. So our common sense tells ki that red color has higher wavelength, so it is going to travel a larger distance. No doubt all the rays get scattered, but the red color which is least scattered enters our eyes because it has to travel a larger distance, and the blue light which has scattered a maximum distance, that are unable to reach to your eyes because they have very very less wavelength. So as a reason, they are not going to reach up to your eyes during sunrise and sunset. So since the red light which has higher wavelength, it is quite obvious that it is going to travel a larger distance. No doubt it has scattered very less, but whatever the small portion of the scattered light that you are going to see into your eyes. So that's the reason why the sunrise and sunset, during sunrise and sunset, the sky appears reddish in color. Okay, so you can look into the diagram. The sun, you can see, which is in yellow color. See that there are two persons standing, just separated by certain distance. You can see one person is seeing the red light and another person is seeing the blue light. He will say ki sky is blue, and the another person which is standing far away from the sun, he will tell ki sky is red. So what's the reason for this is the person who is standing, or the person who is witnessing the red color is very far away from the sun, and as a result the red light which is least scattered will travel a larger distance, so he sees the red color of the sky during sunrise and sunset. Maybe sun is rising or setting for him, and for the person who is witnessing blue color, maybe he is seeing the sun during the noon time, maybe afternoon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever it might be, but not during the sunrise and sunset. Okay, so next thing is, you can see clearly from this also, why does the sun appear reddish at sunrise and sunset. So sun about to set, and when it is about to set, it will travel a longer path, and sun at the noon, it will travel a short path. So the path is also playing a role here. Larger the path, larger the wavelength will carry. Okay, shorter the path, shorter wavelength, like blue, indigo, easily they can see. So the most important thing here to understand is first is the dispersion of the light. So what is dispersion of the light? You should know ki sun consists of a white light. Sun consists of a white light, and when this white light is observed into a prism or a spectrometer, this light gets splitted up, or this light get dispersed into 7 constituent colors, and this constituent colors, this phenomenon is known as dispersion of the light. So the dispersion of the light proves the sun consists of 7 colors, not just one single color. And so we see the different colors of the sky, mostly dominated by blue color, slightly violet, and during sunrise and sunset we see red color and orange color, little bit of yellowish too. Okay, so I hope you understood this scattering phenomenon and the reason why the sky is blue, and during sunrise and sunset it is reddish or yellow. Okay, I hope you have followed the concept. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.